Hi, everybody. Welcome. I am Zovig Garbushian. This is Charge Higher Fees. Change your relationship to money and drop the fear around what you're making. As I said, I'm Zovig Garbushian. I'm the founder and head coach of Boldness Ablaze Coaching. And I'm going to walk you through this concept about what it's like to break through the fear around charging more for the work that you do, whether you are a consultant, a business owner, a freelancer, you have some kind of side hustle, or you're working in a larger environment, a larger corporate environment where you are negotiating with vendors or even negotiating salaries and things like that in your job, because this is really about how you relate to money. So let's kick off. First, a little bit about me. I'm a professional coach, I'm a consultant, I'm a speaker and a trainer. And as all of those things, my vision is a world where women go after what they want boldly and unapologetically. Now, I specialize my coaching in high performing women, but this particular conversation is applicable to anybody who is out there putting out proposals and charging the fees that they want to charge for the work that they're doing. I'm committed to coaching my clients to unlock more purpose, more passion, more personal freedom. And I've got 22 years of experience in the media industry, digital learning, technology industries. I used to live in New York City for almost 20 years. I'm originally from California, and now I live just outside of Seattle. I live for transformation, period. My clients' transformation and my own, because I believe that growth and transformation happens in the messiness and the grit of life. And if you're interested in learning more about me or my business, you can scan that cute little barcode right there, and you can find me at boldnessablazecoaching.com. Now, with that in mind, let's get started. So if you're here and you're watching this video, you probably have some sort of story or block or challenge around the money that you make. Whatever that story is, I guarantee it came from somewhere. And if it's not serving you, meaning you're not making the money you really want to make, then it's worth you taking the time to ask yourself, what the heck is tripping me up anyway? Like this little dog, very confused face. Now, beliefs about money are deep-seated. There are so many different beliefs, and there are as many beliefs around money as there are flavors of ice cream. They come from our childhood, they're reinforced in adulthood, and they are often associated with memories or rules or experiences that we learned when we were young, something around money that we eventually took ownership of ourselves. And here are some on the screen. You can read them. Money is evil. Some people feel like, oh, if I think too much about money, it's not a good thing. You can't buy happiness. Or if you're in business, I'm new at this, so I can't charge that much. I'm not allowed to make I'm not allowed to want money. It's not allowed. Or money and fulfillment, they can't coexist. Meaning if I'm making a lot of money, then I can't actually be fulfilled. I'm going to be a slave and, golden handcuffs and all of that. My favorite story that I got when I was young was, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are to want this? And I kind of took that with me into adulthood. Some other ones are, my field isn't lucrative. This is the going rate for what I do, so it's fair. I can't charge more. I don't want them to have to charge to pay too much. It's okay. I just won't charge them that much. Or they're a new client, so I'll offer a discount, right? If any of these resonate with you, you may have a little sticking point around money. So then when we go out and try to make money, we get caught between our beliefs and our desire to succeed. So now think to yourself, what are some of the beliefs that you have around money that get in your way? And what would you rather believe about money that would serve you? After all is said and done, if you related to any of those beliefs or those stories, one or many, all of them boil down to one thing, and that's fear. Now, fear looks different for every one of us. When I say fear, it doesn't necessarily mean we're crouched in the corner, scared and shaking. Fear for some looks like fear of failure, or fear of upsetting clients, or maybe someone not liking us, or we lose a client, or being laughed at, like, I'm never going to pay that. Or being called out for not being as good as we say we are, doing it wrong, not being good enough. Fear comes from old stuff, things that we were taught by our families, in school, religion, cultures, ethnicity, even things that were said to us by bosses, but at certain points in our career, or things we see on TV or in the media. And these fears shape our relationships to people, to ourselves, and to tangible things like money. But imagine, just for a second, how would you feel if you realized that none of those stories were actually true? What would it change for you? I know it's shocked. She's shocked. Like, oh my God, all of this that I believed about money isn't actually true. And I don't have to think about it this way. And what would it change for you if that were the case? So that's what we're going to get into. So now let's take a look at this. This woman is looking through her glasses, trying to examine something more closely. So let's you and I take a magnifying glass to the stories and beliefs that you have about your own money, how you make it, how much of it you're allowed to make. What I'm going to do is walk you through 3 distinctions that focus on mindset, different mindsets about money. And by the end of each, you'll be able to identify where on each side of the distinction you fall. And this is important that you know where you are, because the more awareness you have of yourselves, what you believe, why you believe it, will help you break down the beliefs that are no longer serving you. You ready? All right. The first distinction is scarcity versus abundance. The word scarcity actually has the word scare in it. And it makes sense because coming from this mindset, you're always thinking that you will never have enough. Scarcity means that you think there is a finite amount of resources. Whether or not it's true, people with a scarcity mindset, whether they're aware of it or not, believe that there are limited amounts of resources and that everyone takes from the same pool. So you believe that there's only so much for you. And if somebody else gets it, you don't get it. You have to take what you can get and be grateful for what you get. Now, the flip side, well, actually, before I go into the flip side of abundance, I want to talk about what scarcity feels like. This might be a new concept for some of you, and that's okay. So here are some ways that scarcity might show up for you. You may find yourself playing the comparison game with people who do the same thing that you do or something similar. You may find yourself hurrying and feeling rushed to make a business decision, to say yes to a client, to call somebody back right away because you're scared you're going to lose out. It might be difficult for you to be happy for others. And I stress that this doesn't mean you're a jerk. It just means for some reason, it seems like that person over there doing what you do, it's easier for them. And so it's difficult to be excited when you're challenged to make the money you want to make. You may feel competitive. There might be this tiny little voice of fear in the back of your head. And you may even have said, and I've had people say this to me, beggars can't be choosers. And so those are some signs that maybe scarcity is running the show. But none of that is actually true. This is about training your mind to a new story about money. There is enough money, enough time, resources, and clients for everybody. In fact, if I was standing next to somebody who coached the exact same type of client I was coaching, there would be plenty of business for the two of us to go around. See, a scarcity mindset says, I don't have enough and I might never have enough. But an abundant mindset says, I have everything I need right now, and I always will. When abundance is driving the car, we're able to set the fear aside, which blocks us, and then we can become more creative and solution-oriented. We can access more of the natural talent that we have in our lives, and then apply that talent to our business or our job in order to create, not make, not find, not scrape together, but to create more money. With abundance, we can get into our humor about things, our extroversion, our nerdy side, our love for research, or our connection with people, the things that set us apart in the work that we do. When we're not so worried about what am I going to get and am I going to get it, you can access your abundance side, which opens you up to be able to create deeper relationships with the people you work with. When you are doing that in abundance, you detach from the perception that you'll be rejected if you lose and lose a client. And that's the difference between scarcity and abundance. So hopefully that makes sense. And with those descriptions, you can figure out for yourself, okay, where might I be in scarcity and feel like there's not enough for me? And when am I in abundance? Because oftentimes we're not just one or the other, right? We can actually be one thing in certain situations and another in others. But this is about you being aware of when each of these shows up and starts driving the car. So the next distinction we're going to move into is transaction versus transformation. You provide a product or service, but that product or service has transformational value. And this is a good moment to pause and ask yourself, do I see what I do as transformational, as undeniably valuable to the clients that I serve? If you said no, or if you said, I'm not sure, this is a great time to ask yourself, why not? See, when you consult with clients, you are literally giving them the tools and knowledge they need to transform their business and themselves from pretty good, pretty successful to exceptional. What you offer has limitless value because it carries on after you've left. And that includes how you interact with your clients. It's not just about your products. You are transformation. So this is where you get to consider if you want to change this way of seeing yourself in your business. Consider that you are transformational. What you do is transformational. You're not just doing this or that. You're changing and securing the lives of the customers that you serve. If you work in law, you are protecting individuals and their rights. If you are in some sort of coaching or consulting business, you are helping people expand, grow, see bigger, see limitless options. If you're in sales, you're giving people products that are going to service them, their lives, or their businesses. There is a transformational aspect to everything that we do in our work. We just have to open our eyes to see it. Because if you're devaluing your own services as just a transaction, something people give you money for, how do you expect your clients to see what you do as valuable? If you're not buying your own story, how are they going to buy it? If you don't see who you are and what you do as transforming lives and transforming businesses, then it might be worth going through this short little exercise to help you get clearer on your own transformational value. You're going to ask yourself 2 questions. The first question is, why am I different amongst all of the others who do what I do? And I encourage you, go beyond because I love to help people or because it makes me feel good to be in this business. Go beyond those. Those things are table stakes, right? If you are in business, if you're working and interacting with people, chances are you enjoy and get fulfillment from working with people. But go a little further. What is it about you that is so different? And I'll give you an example. Myself as a coach, I focus on coaching high-performing women because I believe that there are not enough women in leadership in organizations and that not enough women are encouraged to step into the lives that they really want. And what makes me different, that's not a unique opinion, by the way, but what makes me different is that I coach the person and not the problem that they're dealing with. And I come at this from equal parts, hold your feet to the fire, and love, because I create a judgment-free space where you can be seen and heard. That is why I am different. That is why I know that I am transformational. So when have you transformed someone's life? And again, I'll repeat those 2 questions just so you can get into the headspace. Why am I different amongst all of the others who do what I do? And when have you transformed someone else's life? And the last one is past experience versus future value. See, the past is static. It's done. It's not changing. But the future is dynamic. And as a society, we're always being asked to prove ourselves by providing evidence of our past successes. Our resumes are a list of it's like a bulleted list of all the things we've done, the amazing things we've done. We've got these profiles that show all these things we've done, the clients we've worked with. We create case studies and video testimonials. So of course, we get caught up in checking boxes about what we've done and then use that list as the basis for what we charge for our work. We put so much focus on our past experience as proof that we deserve money, the money that we asked for. We get worried that our experience doesn't match the money we want to charge. And then we tell our self things like, I don't have enough experience. I don't have enough of what they want exactly. But the thing is, when we focus on what we don't have or think we don't have, because that may or may not be true, then that's all the client can see. So that means you get to change the conversation. Focus on what you can do for them in the future and help them understand why you're the best person suited to do it. You don't need to have a client validate your past experiences and say, oh yes, good job. Okay, I see you are worthy now. I've gotten caught up in that and concerned that, oh, I don't have enough experience in this to coach this level of a leader. And if I change the conversation and flip the script in my head to not what I've done in the past, but what I'm going to do for them moving forward, it's a very different conversation. You need the client to understand all that you can provide from this moment forward. Now, that's not to say you shouldn't share your past case studies or successes, because that is important. That's part of the process. People want to know the types of things you've done. They're excited by that. Our experience is what makes us good. What I am saying is, don't let the experience of the past dictate or even throttle the money that you might want to charge now. I'm going to share an excerpt with you from one of my favorite books called The Prospero. And by the way, this is one of the most transformational books I've ever read about how to create clients, not get clients, not find clients, create clients. And if you are not a coach, that's okay. You can just swap out the word coach for consultant or entrepreneur. It's the same. If you have a new higher fee or a new high fee program, if I have a new higher fee or a new high fee program, I want to be deeply grounded in the new fee. It helps me sometimes to say it many times out loud, to get in my body and brain and muscle memory rehearsed with it, maybe even simulate my side of a conversation with a client many times over so it becomes comfortable, easy, and natural to actually say it. Then I want to talk myself into the value of that fee as if I were an attorney making a case for it in my own mind. I might mention to myself some coaches who charge more than that and realize that I can do a better job than they can for less money. I might even reflect on some clients who have received a disproportionately high return from my lower fee. That all prevents me from talking myself out of the fee, like they'll never pay that. And if you've ever done that, which I know I have, they will never pay this. I got to talk myself into my fees. This quote puts into very simple language how to talk myself into my fees and get deeply connected to them. This is your money. This is your livelihood. This is not just something you do to pay the bills. And sometimes we're so big, we can get caught up in all of the doing of what we do, and we forget there's actual work and thought and creativity that go into who we are and our livelihood. And so that is why here, now, is where your new money story awaits. See yourself as a creator of money instead of someone who just gets paid. See yourself as a creator of money instead of someone who just gets paid. How do you do that? How do you let go of the stories that you've grown so fond of? Because we get very close to our stories about what we are and what we're not. And give yourself a new framework through which you can relate to money in a way that serves you. I'm going to give you some suggestions. The first thing you can do, and jot these down, is to complete these sentences. This is an actual exercise I've done. I do this with my clients. You can do this anytime. You can do this over and over to get grounded. Money equals, and I'll fill in the blank with mine. Money equals my time, my ideas, and my relationships that help people thrive. Money is the most perfect expression of my creativity. That's what money is. When I am making money, I am at my most creative. Tracking money is empowering and foundational. This one might be tough for you. A lot of us don't like to get into the weeds about our bookkeeping and our invoicing and all of that. But if you make it change the framework from it's a have to a get to, then tracking money can become very empowering for you. And when I propose my fees, it makes me feel proud. I am proud that I not only have the juice to back up the number of zeros on my proposals, but I also have the courage to say, this is what I charge. And some tips. Now, I love tactical things. So if you are a tactical person, then this is perfect for you. So I have 9 tips for you. 1, visual. Have your fees in front of you in color. If you have that kind of business where you've got a certain set of programs or offerings that you can write them down, if you have variable fees, you may just want to create a chart or something so that you understand and have your fees in front of you so you are never without them. So when someone asks you on a Zoom call, you can just look down. I have them right at the bottom of my screen and I just say them and it just comes out of my mouth. 2nd, practice them until the words fall out of your mouth. I have done this with myself. I have practiced. When I raise my fees, I just keep saying them and saying them and saying them. 3, talk yourself into, not out of your fees. Say whatever you need to say to talk yourself into your fees. Say what you would say to a good friend or a family member who is talking themselves out of something. Say that to yourself. 4 is capture your 5 to 10 stories of the past transformations that you've created. You don't need to share them with clients, but it's good for you to have them and see them. 5 is focus your communication on what you will do for clients. Next time you talk to a client, think future. Think future. Just go forget the past, think future. Number 6 is check for your scarcity mindset. And the quickest way to get out of that is to get grateful. I have this opportunity. There's this new client potential. I've learned a lot in this process. Whatever it is, get grateful for it. 7, own your unicorn. What makes you magically different? 8, don't negotiate. I know that's hard. Now, it's not a hard and fast rule for every single situation because I know some businesses are about negotiating. But I don't negotiate my fees because when I lower my fees, my clients' expectations of me don't change. They still expect that I'm going to deliver transformational coaching. I don't get to take a break because I've discounted my fees. So don't negotiate. And number 9, get comfortable saying no. See, years ago, I had a conversation where someone said, you know that you are comfortable with yourself and confident when you can take something or leave it. Relationship, job, money, home, whatever. If I can take it or leave it and say no to something that won't work for me, I know I am in a good place. And if there are any questions, if this has sparked any questions for you, you can always email me at zovig@boldnessablaze.com. But until then, I hope that this has created some level of thinking and new evaluation and new considerations for how you relate to your money and how you might be able to start raising your fees for long-term clients, creating new fees for brand new programs for new clients, and just creating a more empowering relationship between you and the money that you make. All right, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. See you soon.